Charlie and Mike. Charlie and Mike. Talk about it. Tell the truth. God and country in the booth. We stand strong. We hold the line. Won't shut up. Not this time. Hands on heart, eyes up high. We were made to testify. Charlie and Mike. Charlie and Mike. God and country, we stand right. Truth on fire, we won't hide. USA, USA, side by side. Let them hear us, clear and loud. One small voice can move a crowd. Charlie and Mike, God and country, we stand right. Truth on fire, we won't hide. USA, USA, side by side.
Well, howdy. This is Mike. Charlie's in the background. He'll be here in a second. And thanks for coming on today, folks, and watching us. And as you're checking in, tell us where you're at and what you're doing. And I know it's getting late in the evening in some places, but out there on the West Coast, it ain't all that late at all. So Charlie, I don't know what he's doing. He's like adjusting, playing with his cameras and his earphones and all this stuff. Like everything just fell apart as we were supposed to come on. There he is.
Don't tell people what I'm playing with. What the heck?
Well, you know, it happens. We're
That's
used.
secret. That's not for public information.
We're used to technical difficulties around here. So.
I'm playing with my platform. Hello, everybody. Hello, y'all. Yes, I am Charlie Simons, and that's Mike Cook. And this is our show where we talk about it. And Mike just mentioned time zones and all that kind of stuff. Well, we're getting some traction and starting to get an audience. And thank you for sharing, and thank you for participating in the chat room. That's been so fun to me because I do interview shows. I'm not used to doing the whole live thing, and takes me back to all those years I did radio when, you could actually call the studio and I'd put people on the air and I get to talk to them directly. It's the closest we can get is the chat room thing, but it's been fun. But here's the deal. I noticed
I do that with the robocalls and the spam callers. They call me during my show. I'll put them on the air.
I love that.
The Pitch It Mike show.
Yeah. Hey, what are you selling me? That's how I answer. Hey, what are you selling me? Anyway, he mentioned times, and I'm out here on the West Coast. Sorry. Excuse me. Governor Hairdo suddenly popped up.
Well,
anyway.
He's got to sell some used cars, so.
Yeah. Anyway, that's our governor, Gavin Newsom. I call him Hairdo, Governor Hairdo. Anyway, I noticed towards the end of the show, a lot of people bailing out before we're done, and because it's late in the Central Time and East Coast. What would you think about us starting earlier? I have no problems. Actually, it'd be nice. I think to be able to start earlier. How about you, Mike? Can you and you in the chat room? Can you chime in? What time would be a good time for you?
Well, some people are going to say 3:00 in the afternoon, but that won't work because there's other things going on. So, you got family, got to make dinner, all that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking if we went up an hour, maybe 45 minutes, something like that, but it'll all work out. Mike says yes, because he's out there on the East Coast, got to go to work in the morning. So, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Stalling for time. Hey, while you're thinking about it, I got something for you. I guess I want to start the show off for. I was scrolling through the interwebs today, and I come across this video of David Lee Roth from Van Halen. And, it's been a week or two since I've seen the guy, and I don't even recognize this. Take a look. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. This will blow you away. What's going on here?
Is he singing along to a voice track like karaoke? He's doing karaoke.
I'm not sure what he's doing.
That is what he's doing.
I think he's trying to imitate Joe Biden.
Biden does Halen. Okay, that's very funny.
I looked at that. I said, I had it in the background, like I'm scrolling. I didn't have the sound up, and I go back. I said, "Who is that singing?" And then it said David Lee Roth. I was like, "What?"
Listen. Yeah, I just saw a billboard for where I live in NorCal. One of the Native American casinos. Sorry, I almost said Indian. They're bringing. Whoa, not Scott. They're bringing.
7-Eleven.
They're bringing David Lee Roth. He's going to be here in my area in August, mid-August.
Are you going to get tickets and go?
I don't have that kind of money. I don't go to concerts anymore. I don't go to ball games. I don't do anything. When I was in radio, I never paid for a ticket. Now I have to, and I just don't have the money. The tickets are insane. You're out of your mind.
I can't.
You like $80-$90 to go see David frickin' Lee Roth.
That's David. This right here is David Lee Roth that you're paying that money for.
Yeah. Think about it. How old is he now? He's got to be 70. He's got to be 70. He has to. Probably older.
And yeah.
He was rode hard and put away wet. He has had every single female on the planet throw themselves at him. Well, not every single one. Thank God there are still some.
Well, now they're not throwing at him. They're wheeling up to him.
He's probably, I mean, you can only be treated for so many STDs before it has some kind of adverse effect on your body and mind.
You would think.
And all those medications to get rid of that kind of stuff, it's got to jack with you a little bit in your nervous system. Plus the cocaine.
Well, yeah, there's always that. There's always.
Remember, it started really in the late 90s, early 2000s, when all these celebrities who were big in the 80s and early 90s started showing up with Parkinson's.
Yep.
Michael, Back to the Future. Why can't I think of his name right now? Because I did a lot of cocaine in the 80s, probably.
Yeah.
Well,
I did not.
I did. Michael, what the heck? Why can't I think of his name? J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox. Yes, I got it. Just about the same time
he was kind of like one of the first ones to go public with it, and everybody was, oh, that's just terrible. Are you kidding? He was a coke whore. He was known in Hollywood as anywhere, anytime, snorting off of anything, and it jacks with your nervous system. It's a stimulant for your heart, your brain, and it jacks with your body. Crank is even worse. Meth. Look what it does to people. So all those years of cocaine, as much as you want, anytime you want, then add in the booze. I'm paying for it. And I didn't do as much as those guys.
It was, I was looking for this story and I'm not finding out. What the heck did I do with the story? I thought I shared it, but I guess I didn't. Oh well. So I don't know where I was going to go with that. Oh, I know. It was Whitney
You can't
Houston.
relate. You're not a former druggie. Look at
I
you.
know, right?
You're fumbling, mumbling. You can't even get your thoughts straight. And I'm the guy who was the cocaine maniac.
Yeah. So no, Whitney Houston.
I can't even think of Michael J. Fox, and I'm making fun of you.
She said that when being interviewed if she was on crack cocaine, she said, "No, I don't do no crack. Crack's for poor people. I do cocaine."
I've forgotten about that. Oh, yeah. That's funny. My brother, on a serious note, I lost my brother in 2017, booze and meth. And he started first with pot. So anybody who says pot and marijuana is not a gateway drug, you're an idiot. You're either an idiot or you're a liar, because it absolutely is. I've seen it in way too many lives, too many examples of it. It starts there, and then you just go next level and just gets more and more, and you're searching for a bigger and bigger high. And that's what he did. Started off with pot, and then turned into cocaine, and then got poor, and it turned into crank, and then crank turned into crack, and crack turned into meth, and now he's dead.
The problem with marijuana, everybody says, "Oh, it's natural and all that stuff," but it's a gateway.
You know what? There's a lot of things that are natural. Polk salad is natural.
Arsenic is natural.
Arsenic is natural.
I don't see anybody smoking that.
Exactly.
So, only one time. You'll do it once, and that's the end.
Mercury is natural.
You sure? Yeah.
That's from the earth, for heaven's sake.
Uranium. Natural.
Natural. So stupid. Every time I've heard that argument, I've heard so many times, well, it's natural. God created it. God created a whole lot of things. And he also spelled out in his word about don't eat that.
Yeah, right.
Don't drink that.
Well, one of the things.
Sober mind.
So I've been following a couple of these. There's been a handful of former witches, tarot card readers, prognosticators, Satanist type people.
They're all out here in California now. They hold public office.
Well, that's true. They're big time followers, like millions and millions of followers on TikTok or Instagram, whatever. They in the last few weeks have turned to Christ. They've abandoned everything, and they've turned to Christ, and they're out there talking. And one of them's been around for a little while.
I've written them. I've tried to get them on my show, and they'd never respond.
One of them is Craft to Christ. She's over in England. She's a couple years, and I want to try that. Hey, we got an answer for that. We got an answer for that. Don't do meth. I can help you. We do have an answer for that. And here's a QR code right here. Click on that and look at that Snow Slim right there. There it is. In a year's time, I'm down 60 pounds, and I've done it. The one on the in the blue shirt is June of last year, and the other one's June of this year. I'm down 60 pounds, and I've done it with the chocolate sauce that makes your pants fall off right here. It's called Snow Slim. It is proven that the ingredients in there, Morocell blood orange extract, that 94% of the people who participated in the double-blind test that took that product lost weight over 12 weeks. So don't do the meth, do the chocolate sauce. I'm telling you, it's way better for you. Thanks for the plug. Anyways, back to what was I talking about that? I don't know, but I wanted to bring this up real quick because I like this comment. We were talking about David Lee Roth and how bad he looks and not moving very well. Red Rocker, Sammy Hagar, in great shape, same age as Bill Clinton. The difference is Hillary. Well, that would weigh on you, You imagine waking up to that, but he doesn't wake up to her because she lives like in Nantucket, and she lives in Nantucket, and he lives somewhere else. I don't know, but it's probably how far away around the planet can you get from Nantucket? That's probably where he's hanging out. I don't know, but I heard there was once was a man from Nantucket, but yes. But we're going to keep this show PG-13 at least. I don't know what you're talking about, Mike. What are you suggesting? How about suggesting anything? Hey. Oh, I know what I was talking about. So I was watching that gal, Craft. Oh, Jessica Christ. Craft. Is that her? Who? What? Just the witch? Former witch? Craft to Christ. I don't know what her name is. That's her TikTok handle. And Jessica Craft to Christ. There it is. She said she was pointing out that in the occult side, anything that interacts with your mind, just hit that link up there or send a message to patriotmikeshow@gmail.com, and I'll walk you through the process, and CharLee will get the credit. Okay, so it'll help you out. It's easy peasy.
Win-win.
Right. So
since Mike and I have been involved with Nueva Life now for how long now? Half a year at least.
Well, it's existed for a year.
About a year now. But Mike and I together, me being on Mike's team, and Mike has built up a great team, and he's doing well, and people are enjoying the product so much, and they're all working together synergistically, and they're all making money off of it. And then you look at my team that I've built.
Well, it's hard to do.
It's all me. It's all me. Are you kidding? I'm the David Lee Roth of podcasting and Nueva Life. I'm just a wreck, just a train wreck.
Well, let me tell you about what she said that marijuana, anything that alters your mind opens the door to the demonic.
Well, that's what I was talking about in the word. I mean, God told us, don't take that, don't drink that, and be of sober mind.
Here's a
drink a little wine for the stomach's sake, but don't go around getting drunk all the time.
Jeff says he takes Alive. My wife takes it too. That's the greens that we have, and people are loving that product. So there's tons of products out there. So anyways, moving right along. What else we got to talk about? Hey, have you seen this story? I know CharLee's a little, he's not in his office, so he's a little bit, he doesn't have all of his material.
I haven't even seen the news today. I don't know what's going on. I had Mike is the one to let me know that we're bombing Iran again. I didn't know that.
I haven't got to that yet. This is out of New York City. Listen to this, and I've got more to go with other than this Fox News blurb.
Welcome back. Tracking a developing situation out of New York City right now, specifically Midtown East Side, where a 38-story building under construction, according to the FBI, is apparently failing. Bricks have been seen falling off of it.
What?
Multiple columns have been seen buckling. They're reporting that.
What are we in Mexico?
Floors 21 and 26 of this building under construction. So they're keeping an eye on this. They're reporting that they've got 40 of their FDNY units on scene right now, with over 100 firefighters and EMS responding to this.
So this is a building in New York City that's being refurbished. Turns out it used to be the Pfizer building. I don't know if that's a conspiracy or not, but it's falling down right now as we speak. And here is somebody TikTok filming from inside the building, a construction worker.
Oh, good. So we do have that video. Buckling frickin' beams. Good heavens.
Yeah, I'm looking at that going, I'm not staying there. I'm not filming this except on my way out.
Yes, get out. Yeah. And then there's somebody else in there too. Hey, look at this, everybody. And look, I can actually push this one over. Those are Democrats right there walking around filming that.
Oh, gosh. I think I got a little loaded. Here's a little more.
Thanks, Democrats, for the news footage.
Yeah, we needed it, right?
Building has continued to move since we
got support.
We evacuated the building.
Yikes!
Started evacuations of surrounding buildings. We have a frozen zone and a collapse zone set up, and we are working with the buildings department and the building engineer to make sure that this is safe for our people and for all New Yorkers.
If that's not one of the craziest things I've seen, Kim Clement predicted strange July. It's only the 7th. We'll see where this goes.
Hey, Inspector Kate's up in Canada. That's how you build things, isn't it? Up there, isn't that how y'all build things?
They do better than that.
Canada.
All the New Yorkers just lollygagging outside the building.
Look at them. You've of course heard the phrase, it's like watching grass grow. Well, here's like watching a building collapse.
Yeah, in real time.
Exciting.
It sounds like fun. Anyways, so there's that story. I don't know if you got one that's crazier than that, but that's a story.
I do have one that's fairly crazy, and that is Governor Hairdo out here in California fought against the billionaire tax it started off as a millionaire tax, and then they were like, oh, all these millionaires were going to leave, and started. Actually, they're gone. Excuse me. And so then they go, well, we're gonna attack the billionaires because they got all the money and they need to give it to us. And of course, all the socialists, they just squealed with delight, like their little tingly parts downstairs have been touched accidentally, and they were all giddy about getting to tax the wages, take money away from the billionaires.
That's
Until
right.
the billionaires started leaving, and then Governor Hairdo decided that he's going to run for president. I don't know if that's going to happen now, though. According to my friend Mike Cook, it's not in 2028.
No, he's gonna. I mean, let's see, his secretary, was it secretary? I don't remember. His second in command, chief of staff. That's what I'm looking for.
But it was Alex.
Pled guilty. Just pled guilty.
Yes,
and that's because one of her staff members was, for the last 2 years, been wearing a wire for the FBI, and on that wire they incidentally caught
Alexis Podesta, no relation to John, wearing a wire, and this house of cards is about to completely be swept out into the Pacific Ocean in California.
Yeah, he's going to go the way of Eric Swallowell. And resign and go away.
My name.
I did not steal it. Ask my fans that are in the. I've been saying it for a couple of years now. So
yeah, you stole it from me. Don't be lying.
Fang's boyfriend.
Swallowwell. Anyway, Governor Hairdo suddenly turned against the whole billionaire tax, and he started campaigning against it, going, no, this is a bad idea. No, I'm not going to support this. No, I'm going to. Well, now he's all lame ducky. Who cares what he's going to do? And he sees all these socialist pieces of crap getting elected all across the country, and he's emboldened.
Yeah, he's going to turn the whole Democrat Party is going to turn socialist. They're going to be communists.
If this turns into a violent conflict and some kind of a civil war, it's not going to be against us Republicans and we MAGA types. It's going to be against Democrats, socialists against Democrats. I really believe that. Anyway, Governor Hairdo is now proposing this.
The Newsom is saying it's time for a national billionaires tax and a new social contract.
Yeah. The billionaires and the trillionaires.
10% of people in this country own 2/3 of the wealth.
How dare they?
Wages have stood still, and the costs across the spectrum, cost of living, has skyrocketed. The system is fundamentally broken.
The White House wasted no time responding to Governor Newsom.
So there you go. So he doesn't want it done in California because the Californians are leaving. So he's now taken, he's definitely an animal of convenience, and whatever is easy picking right there on that fruit tree, he's going to grab for it. And now he sees all these socialists getting elected all across the country, and he is now suddenly saying, well, it's not going to happen in my tax, in my state, if I can help it, but everywhere else.
Yep.
He's proposing.
Did you know that they chased Elon Musk out of California a few years ago?
He's gone.
And with his initial public offering, it was $208 billion in taxes that California didn't get because they chased him out of there.
Right.
Wasn't nice? And he was talking about, I said that Gavin Newsom wouldn't run for president. I said December 31st, 2025. This is what I said that felt like the Lord was telling me. Ilhan Omar will go to jail for a long time. Tim Walz, and you see the investigations that are going into her right now. Tim Walz will step down as governor. Tucker Carlson converts to Islam. I got screamed at over that, but have you seen him lately?
Dude, you were right. It's happening.
I know.
He was explaining about how awesome Sharia law is. I've watched it. He was doing it on one of his shows.
Yes. Many people in government will self-deport, and the rest of that sentence is either the nation to a non-extraditable country or the planet.
Or the planet.
Comes first. Gavin Newsom does not run for president. Now, I've been saying that means he doesn't go to the first. We will not. He may announce his candidacy, but he won't make it to the first primary in Iowa. And AOC does run for president. And I'll go further to say this: AOC will win the most primaries, but I'm not sure she'll get the nominee with the super delegates because the Democrat Party's rigged. Just like
You
old
think
Bernie
they're
Sanders.
are they going to try and pull a Bernie Sanders on her?
Well, the people who control the party apparatus are still the old dog, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chucky Schumers, the Clintons, the Obamas, et cetera, et cetera. But there's this wave of not even Liz Cheney, not Liz Cheney. Same thing. She's a Democrat. She just doesn't say so. Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, AOC, Rashid Tlaib, Ilhan Omar wing of communist Democrats. But now we have the Zoltron. That's my affectionate name for the governor, the mayor of New York, wing of,
Tommy Mandami.
of a radical Islamist fascist, commo fascist. That's who we got, this wave of these communists coming in. And then the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, which are
I'm not going to call them that. I'm never going to call them that. I don't care what they call themselves. The left does not dictate the English language for me. You're either a socialist or you don't. You're a totalitarian or you're not.
Socialists are not socialists. They're commies. They're
No,
Marxists and Maoists.
Okay, I'll go that far. Yeah, let's call them that then. Absolutely. But I'm not going to call them the DSA like all the other Republicans have been falling in line calling them that. Well, stop letting them dictate
the
the
good
language.
news is that the gays for Palestine are still out there holding up their banners. So it's all good. We're fine.
Can we put together some kind of fund to get them one-way airfare to Palestine? First of all, find Palestine on the map.
You know what their theme
There
song
is
is?
no such place. What's their theme song?
The gate, I believe I can fly.
You homosexual. Yeah. Come here. I want to show you our prayer tower. The view is wonderful.
Yeah, prayer tower. Yeah, that's it.
You'll enjoy it for 5 seconds. All the way down.
It's not the fall. It's that sudden stop
Just
at
the
the end.
bounce.
And if
Yes,
you're
I
still
know.
living, we'll stone you. It's great. No problem.
Exactly
It's
right.
not the marijuana. It's not the
After
marijuana.
we do horrible
kind of
things,
stoning.
after we mutilate your body and stick things in places and so on and remove stuff. That's what they do. That's what they do. If this sounds like, oh, this is gross. I can't believe that. This is what they do. This is who they are. This is their people. This is their religion. It is a religion of peace, according to George W. And Obama. There's nothing peaceful about it. It's a lie. It's a scam. And I am so heartened by all the conservatives and Christians that I'm seeing starting to talk about it, starting to bring it up because it's growing in their areas. What the heck's happened to Texas, for heaven's sake? How many mosques do you have there now? What do you?
Well, they're actively going after Texas, and the Democrats are supporting because the Democrats think if we get all these Islamists over there, we can win. That they don't realize is that the Islamists are going to throw all the gay Democrats off the buildings when they win. But you know,
they'll lop your head clean off.
Using the Islamists, but they're not using this. You got to remember, all of these Democrats, all these Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're all a bunch of hippies. They're all a bunch of peace and love and get high. And, you know, if you can't be with the one you love the one you're with. These guys, other folks they're religious radicals.
Absolutely. Well, the left are religious radicals too. They just worship the government. That's their God. Just truly is.
That's what communism is, replacing God with government. So it's exactly what communism is.
Hey, did you see some of the fireworks festivities going on all around the country? It was very exciting, celebrating our 250th birthday. I was hoping to get a date and be able to go to some kind of fireworks show, but I just couldn't wrangle it because I'm not nearly as popular as I think I should be. And
we blew stuff up in my backyard.
I couldn't
so
get
it
a
was
date
good.
to go to a Dad Blame fireworks show, but then I missed your last minute. So I just wanted to check out some of the different places around the country where they know how to celebrate the 4th of July, Independence Day, for heaven's sake. Like, for example, No, that's not it. Wait, here we go. Newport Beach, California. This is very, very exciting.
Well, you know, California knows
Thank you,
how to
California
do it.
Post. Thank you, California Post, for posting this video. You got to see where the horses charge into the crowd. They're shooting off illegal fireworks. That's the biggest problem. That's the biggest.
Those are
let's check
illegal?
this. Yeah. People are bringing their own. Because, as we're seeing, many towns, cities, even counties were canceling fireworks shows. A lot of places there in California canceled a fireworks show. You can't be celebrating the 250th birthday of the United States of America when Trump is president. You just can't.
Well, the sheriffs are out there.
Yeah, let's go forward. There's some more action going on. Newport Beach, California, everybody. They're still shooting off fireworks with the police advancing towards them.
Yeah, so out here in Freedomville, Central Missouri, we do it legally. We can do mortars, we can do rockets, we could do it all.
Well, I like this one right here. You know, we need some theme music here. I guess I'll just sing it and see if I can make it match up here. You ready? Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. That one dude right there, right in the middle, Mr. Pink Shirt. Did you see him trying to what do they call it? Flex. He's flexing. He's not going to move. Police are coming. All these police are coming. He's just going to stand there because he's a badass, right? Whoops. Maybe I will move. Perhaps I misjudged.
Flag on the ground and just left it there.
And the flag on the ground. Somebody just yeah, it bothers me too. And then here comes the army of slugs with their little cell phones out, you know, doing all the camera work. So let's forward here, see if there's anything else exciting here. That was 4th of July, my friends, in California. I wish here, I think this is it, where the horses, they decide to charge the crowd on horseback. Here it is. You're running from horses.
What's the point of that?
It's amazing to me how effective law enforcement on horseback is. How well it works. People are so intimidated by horses, especially these city folks. Those are, you know, we country folks, and we grew up on ranches and grew up around, being a cowboy and doing rodeo and all that stuff. We know that no horse will ever run over a human being. Did you know that?
Really?
They will do everything they can to avoid stepping on or running over a human being. But those watching all these people freak out when the horses start advancing towards them, I thought was kind of funny. So there you go. Isn't that exciting?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It reminds me of why I don't.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Run away! Run away!
Then David Spade with a mullet.
Run away!
California is so lame. Here. Now,
We truly
meanwhile,
suck.
in Washington, D.C., it looked a little something like this.
Yeah, that's exciting, man. Isn't this amazing? Oh, I love it so much. I wish I could have been there. If I had the money, I would have fully been there.
But this kind of stuff we do around here all the time.
I have
not
friends
as
who
big as that, but
I have friends who were there. They sent me some photos and some video. I'm like, you suck. Stop sending this to me. I can't stand you. You're not my friend anymore. No, I'm very happy for
I
them.
didn't want to deal with the people.
Oh, I would.
I just
For
blew
something like
stuff up
that. Are
on
you
my-
kidding?
me
And
and
that's
my-
just getting started. That's not the best example of all the fireworks that were happening there.
Me and my father-in-law, we blew up a bunch of stuff, so it was fun.
That's good. Did you see who else showed up at that 4th of July, Independence Day, 250th birthday of the United States of America celebration? You see who else showed up?
No, who showed up?
New York Times' David French, creator of Blow the Stack on Substack, Charles Blow, and co-host of The Weekend, Eugene Daniels.
They look friendly, don't they?
Charles, welcome to the show. It's nice to have you.
They look so friendly.
It is hard to imagine that Donald Trump doesn't know about Patriot Front or what they did on July 4th. Why doesn't he just say, you're not welcome here?
It's consistent with what he has done before. He has refused to condemn the people who marched in Charlottesville. He has refused to condemn the problem.
Okay, shut up. I don't care what you have to say. I just don't. But here's who they're talking about.
That I think that what we are seeing here is that silence is not neutral. Silence is not benign. In a war against evil, you have
paid for by your tax dollars.
Condemn it or support it. And those are your only two options. And when
not this group.
You are
not this group.
You are allowing and you are granting permission.
You betcha.
What does this White House, David, think they're getting out of this?
You know, that.
Shut up. Again, shut up. I don't want to hear you.
Of racist statements, hateful statements throughout the course of his presidency. I mean, we just had a Supreme Court.
Trump has made hateful racist statements throughout his presidency. Here's another question for you, moderator. Really? Can you quote one?
Case where I believe it's Justice Kagan wrote out so that we could not turn away a lot of the racist things that came from Trump in his administration about Haitian immigrants, for example, in Springfield, Ohio, including things like poison the blood of our country.
I'm just thinking this guy must have lost everything downstairs in a tragic bicycling accident.
Well, his husband has his gonads in his purse.
Correct. That's been established since the Supreme Court said that Nazis had the right to march through Skokie, Illinois. You cannot stop them from marching because you don't like their point of view. That's basic Constitution 101.
Especially
but
when
the
they're
deeper
all
and bigger issue is why
that's the leader right there, that dude.
Such a
the sunglasses
of blatant and overt racism from the highest part of the country all the way to sort of the lowest level posters on Twitter. You know,
now here's the latest. We'll get to the other really super friendly looking guy on the. Here we go, because you got to see this is their Rosa Parks moment here. Their Rosa Parks moment. There it is. That's the photo that's on all the media now. This one black woman on this train when this group called they have it up there, white nationalists. No, they call themselves Patriot Front. They wear masks for a reason. Same reason ICE wears masks, because there's always all these pigs out there trying to dox them and shower hate on them. They're not a white supremacist group. I went to their website. I'll bring it up in a second. But they are saying, you know what? You be proud of your race all you want, but don't be jacking on us because we say, wait a minute, we're proud to be white. We're proud to be of European ancestry. Stop running us down and saying that we don't belong here and so on and so forth. But they love this photo right here. This is getting all kinds of press. This is their Rosa Parks moment right here, even though none of these Patriot Front people did a thing to her. They didn't intimidate her. They didn't tell her to leave. You got to be sitting in the back of the bus. They didn't do anything like that.
As a culture for the last decade, at least, is that I go back to when I was in college and I was talking to a friend of mine who was an immigrant, family of immigrants. And she said, you know, you guys are going to have big issues when it becomes a majority minority country. And I was, 20 and idealistic. And I said, what do you mean? Oh, my God, that's not going to why would white people be so upset about that? And she said, because it is something different to realize that you no longer have the power. And numbers for a lot of people equal power. And I think that is what we're seeing. You're seeing this backlash that Charles was talking about because the folks with power.
Okay, forward, not interested. Dude with no genitals. But there's another photo that's like that. Well, I'll just bring him up. Period. Because there's a video, a news station, swooped in and interviewed this one dude who was also on that same train. I called it a bus, but it was actually a train. Here it is. Here it is. This is brilliant.
Roswell Encina says took his breath away the first time he saw it. Encina can be seen sitting on a metro train, surrounded by masked men wearing the uniform of the white supremacist group Patriot Front.
Nothing really, prepares you for something like that, and you tend to tense up and you kind of wonder what's happening.
On Saturday, Encina was headed to a 4th of July party in Maryland. He says when the Patriot Front members boarded his train, his main focus was avoiding eye contact and staying safe.
I'm not the
avoiding eye contact and staying safe. I couldn't believe it. They didn't even talk to me. They didn't even talk to me. They didn't look me in the eye. Well, it's because you were looking away and you wouldn't look them in the eye. But
to go through all of this.
Here's the best part coming up.
Ruby Bridges. There's so many African American kids and teenagers and students from the 50s and 60s that went through worse.
And those kids today, by the way, or those people who are having kids now, are swarming your towns and rioting like crazy. And many people are calling that chimping, which has been labeled as racist.
And and this is when you realize you have to use that courage that they all went through to go through.
Nobody's bothering him.
He also drew on his past experience. 5 years ago, Encina was riding Metro.
Don't miss this. Pay attention to this. I'm going to take this back. And then I'm going to remind you of what incident they're talking about, that he's trying to compare this to what he went through in this trauma.
Past experience. 5 years ago, Encina was riding Metro when a group of kids threw coffee on him and another Asian American passenger, but left the other non-Asian passengers alone.
And what was happening 5 years ago, Mike? What was happening 5 years ago? Who was president then? Oh, yeah, there was this whole BLM thing going on and this George Floyd thing.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a lot of abuse as suddenly the Black community started attacking Asians, especially elderly Asians, and hitting them from behind. Big, stupid dudes. Yes, that's what was happening. Nowhere in this story do they say, oh, by the way, what was the color of those dudes on that train when they threw the orange juice on you or whatever it was? The milkshake.
Oh, no. I can't believe this is happening.
It's kind of hard to believe that was almost 5 years ago, Amy, that when we first chatted about all this. Again, it's just a reminder of the divisions in this country
that you people have created.
Well, and the other thing about that, at that time, the crime in DC was crazy.
Oh yeah,
and they were fomenting all of this stuff. Let me show you something else. The woman on the train. We saw the picture.
Irina.
Who took the picture and posted it?
One of the people on the train. Or no, it was actually the police department did. They released the footage. There was surveillance footage on the train.
So it was surveillance footage. Okay, so it was surveillance footage.
You're talking about Irina.
I'm talking about the guy, the Patriot Front carpetbaggers, FBI agents that were out there dressed up like that on the train with the little black gal. And
my apologies. I thought you were referencing back when Irina got stabbed.
Who took that picture?
Who took that photo? Yeah, good question.
One of the Patriot guy? Was it one of the government paid for Patriot guys getting the good shot so that they'll have a narrative?
You think they are?
Absolutely, 100%. No, let me tell you something. I'm involved with a group of like-minded individuals that like to go out in the woods and play G.I. Joe from time to time. Let me tell you something about organizing that. We can't get, of a group of 30 men or so and women, we can't get 10 of them together organized to do anything. Have you ever tried to organize and do something with your family?
Oh, yeah.
What do you got, 400 of these people? Let me tell you, their uniforms, a couple $100. The flags are at least $50 a piece. How much money is right there? I can't get people when I say the uniform of the day is blue jeans and hiking boots. I can't get everybody to wear the hiking boots. 10 people.
Seriously?
10 people. Yes.
Oh my
and,
goodness.
and these people are all completely organized and uniformed with their flags and their masks and all this other BS showing up in their U-Haul trucks, all decked out, all perfect. All of them, by the way, my little group's a bunch of old veterans in our 50s. These are all 20-something years old. Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth.
You're right.
Do you really think these 20
you're right. There's got to be some finesse. You're right. So this is their website. I decided to look it up, not because the media told me where to find them, but because one of the shots in DC showed their banner and it had their website on there, patriotfront.us. So I started looking around at this last night when I decided I wanted to talk about it. And, and I watched some of their videos and their manifesto. The problem that a lot of people have with them, including me, is the fact that they use. In fact, there's the guy. That's the leader. That's the leader dude right there.
Patriot Front is a fraternal, nationalist, activist organization
Can you hear it?
dedicated to upholding the traditions, defending the people, and transforming the public spaces of the American nation. Through changing the minds, lives, and bodies of our countrymen, we hope to create lasting effects on the course and direction of the country. Patriot Front is active nationwide and committed to an ambitious array of efforts. The organization believes in the ethnic interest of Americans as those descendant from the original European settlers of this land.
Now, remember when Joe Biden was saying that it's the existential threat against the United States of America or these subversive Nazi groups and these white supremacists? That's what he said, white supremacy groups, that they were the existential threat. And I remember at the time going on the air, I was on the radio still, and I go, where? KKK's dead and gone. Where are you talking about? There might be a couple of anti-government groups in Idaho.
Charlottesville, when the Southern Poverty Law Center paid for the white supremacist.
The Southern Poverty Law Center paid for it. Exactly the point I was getting to.
And the BLM guys. And they showed up in the same white buses.
There was no problem with it until he started saying there was a problem with it. And then we find out later on, guess who's paying for all this? Here's their manifesto. Let's take a look at their manifesto. Our cruel and unrelenting enemy leaves us no choice but a brave resistance. They're quoting George Washington here. The problem I have with them right out of the gate, I might be willing to listen to your point of view, but then you're flying the flag of the Confederacy. You kind of lost me there.
Well, they're flying.
You're flying that flag of Dixie
because they got to get everybody all riled up.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Here, let me show you something else. Can I show you something else?
Yeah.
All right, check this out. So this picture was taken just before.
Oh, you found it.
Just before that other picture was taken. And
okay.
Now this is the woman. This was the picture taken. This is the woman's rap sheet. This is the woman on her knees with someone behind her on the same bus a few moments earlier. It says it's been revealed that the black women Democrats put as the pedestal for bravery riding on a train with Patriot Front members was engaging in indecent exposure on the train moments before the photo was taken, and has a lengthy arrest record. Much of her arrest record is prostitution.
Well, there's something I want to say, and it's my joke, and it's my worldly joke, and so I'm just not going to say it. I'm going to respect our audience and my profession of Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I take seriously in the Bible. Avoid coarse language and crass joking, so I'm not going to say what I would love to say right now.
The Waymo of DC.
The Waymo of DC is the train.
I'm just saying. And I just want to remind you. Hey,
$50 is $50, buddy.
That woman is set up on a pedestal as a hero for the left.
But
this woman, not so much.
Oh no. Hell no.
And James Wood says, because the vast majority of news media are propaganda organs for the Democrat Party, whether by executive choice or implicit staff bias. Because the first woman had a safe ride. No one talked to her. No one mussed her. She had a seat to herself. Everything was fine. The second woman, a white girl, is dead.
And talking about the media being complicit, again, good luck finding that video of what that piece of shit did to Irina. Oh, yeah, it's out there, but you're not going to find it in mainstream. You're not going to find it if you Google it. You're not going to find it on YouTube. You're not going to find the actual uncut, released from the police department video. You're not going to find it.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah, you're not going to find it.
That irritates the crap out of me. That makes me so mad. How dare they? They're hiding. They're talk about complicit. That panel of three dorks sitting there going, Patriot Front, and it's all an assault, and President Trump's the fault because he didn't stand up there during the 250th celebration and going, hey, all you people out there from the Patriot Front, yeah, you should go. We don't like you. What do you want him to do during the celebration? During his speech, is he supposed to bring it up? Would that make you happy? I got some video of Whoopi Goldberg getting taken to task because she was complaining about, and again, I don't have it with me because I'm not, I blew it. My apologies. Anyway, Whoopi is complaining about how they're trying to end the discourse about racism in the nation. Thank God. They're trying to suppress it. It still exists, more flagrant than ever. Yeah, you're right. On your side, my friend. Black on black crime, black on white crime. That's what's really happening. The most racist people I've ever known in my life are not white.
Yep.
And I'm a good old boy from Bakersfield. I've met a few racists. Some even in my family, maybe. I know. I'm not one. My grandfather, I loved my grandfather. He was half Cherokee, half Irish. And his attitude was, son, we're all the same until you treat everybody with respect until they do something to show that they don't deserve it.
Yeah.
I've never forgotten that.
What was that? Judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin.
Not the color of their skin. There you go.
That's exactly what that is. I mean, isn't it? Don't you think?
Pretty much.
I'm looking for oh, here it is. Did you see the Dolly Parton controversy that's out right now?
Oh, what? You know, I was so thrilled when I got to interview her. Because I've been in country radio as a radio DJ. Most all of my career has been mostly country, including Nashville. And I got to interview real quick. I got to interview Dolly Parton, and I was all excited about it. And then I went to her concert over there in the Bay Area, San Francisco. Half the show was dedicated to sucking up to homos and the drag queens who showed up. They were everywhere. And instead of her song Jolene, she doesn't sing Jolene. She sings drag queen, drag queen, drag queen. And they all squeal with delight and start making out in the audience and everything. That's a Dolly Parton concert.
Well, good. This will go right along with that. You know that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift supposedly tied the knot at Madison Square. That is one of the biggest PR stunts in American history, by the way, because Travis Kelce's at the end of his life cycle in the NFL, and he wants to get into Hollywood. So what do? His publicist calls up, probably the same publicist. Hey, we got an idea. Why don't we start having your client date my client? Oh, yeah. So we have all this thing. What happens? Both their stock.
He's not kidding. They do that crap.
And then they say,
married for career.
We just won the Super Bowl. So what are we going to do? The first kiss, right? In the back of the hot rod car, right? And then we lost the Super Bowl. Oh, darn it. So we're going to get hit. We're going to get engaged, right? Right. And so every time this happens, your stock goes up, and then it starts going down, 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 down. Oh, here it is. The big weddings happening at Madison Square Garden. Woo! And it goes up again. And then it's going to go down, down, down. They're going to say a year from now or something, Travis and Taylor's on the rocks. Oh, they had a dispute, and it goes back up.
Nothing says true love and devotion and the ultimate in romanticism than having your wedding at the Madison Square Garden.
I'm telling you. But wait a second. I thought that when you had your thing at Madison Square Garden, you were a Nazi. Isn't that what they said about Trump? But I digress. I don't know anything. But what do I know? Anyways, here's Dolly Parton, because they donated a couple $1 million to her book thing. So she gives a heartfelt thank you, but she says something kind of weird. And she makes a weird gesture. Now, I have no, this is what I do on my show. I don't know about you, but when I start talking conspiracy theories and I have no proof, no evidence, no nothing, just something that I think is weird, I got to put my conspiracy hat on so everybody knows that I'm talking conspiracy here and not fact, because I don't know. But here we go.
Taylor and Travis, it's Dolly, and I was just told that you two are making a donation of $2 million to my imagination library. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm blown away and overjoyed with that gratitude. Now, it's evident that you two have made giving back a key part of your lives. So, hey, when you have your firstborn, can I have it? Because that is going to be one special baby. You know, the mission.
When you have your firstborn baby, can I have it?
Can I have it?
And when
can I have it?
When you have your firstborn,
what is that? Oh my good Lord! I see what you're pointing at now. Holy crap!
Back a key part of your life. So, hey, when you have your firstborn, can I have it?
That's not an accident.
One special baby. You know, the mission of the Dollywood Foundation is to dream more, care more, learn more,
and adrenochrome for everybody.
Again, for your very generous gift. And we'll continue that mission, even in bigger ways now with your money. So thank you, and know that I will always love you. Mwah.
Okay, so I thought about that. Well, maybe she's just got a habit of, because when I'm off the screen or down here where you can't see it, I'm sometimes playing with my fingernails. I got this habit of rubbing my fingernail, and I thought, am I making
that was not an accident?
Yeah, I couldn't without thinking about it do it. You understand what I'm saying? But maybe it's just I don't know. But I've got more. I got more on that because some people posted some other stuff as you go down the rabbit hole. And I'm not saying that she's saying
like this one.
Dolly and Bucky's. Nobody loves anything more than boobies and beavers.
You are put on timeout right now, Jay Boland. You are put on timeout.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Ought to be a law. I'm telling you.
Wait a minute. Anyways. Is this true? Is this true from Marita here? Erica Kirk did the same thing right after CharLee's death when she was on stage with the president. Is that true?
Yes, she went, "I love you."
That's different. Yeah. That is you got to have your thumb sticking out. When you do your thumb sticking out, that's actual sign language for yes. Let's see, how does it go? I love you. Yeah, that's sign language. You're right. But this is different. This is hook 'em horns if you're in Texas, but everywhere else, this.
Right. It depends on how you do it.
And I see this at Christian rock concerts. People in the audience doing this to the stage. They're not doing that. They're doing that.
There's a lot of Christian music that isn't. So there's a real popular Christian song right now that it's like plays on the Christian radio and stuff. And it's a Muslim singing it. So she's not singing the Christ. She's singing the Allah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you got to watch out for that. And there's a real popular AI Christian artist. Now, here's some more. So here's this. This is just a still, just so you get a good look at what she was doing there.
There she goes. There it is.
And then there's this picture everybody's pointing out to.
Covering her eye.
Yeah,
Son
and that's supposed to be part of the, the thing.
It is part of it.
But I don't know for sure 100%. I just found, just the whole "can I have your firstborn child" thing without any of the
considering what's going on in the world. How is that even appropriate as like a whimsical little joke?
I just can't wrap my head around how you would say something like that. I mean, how you would think about saying something like that. I mean, I just don't understand. In my opinion, it's just weird. It's just plain, just and I do believe that many people in Hollywood and in the industry, music industry, are compromised, sell their souls to get their fame. And so I'm not saying Dolly Parton did, but there'll be signs, literally in some cases. Like for example, the witchcraft that's in hip hop. But see, it's not just in hip hop, by the way. Witchcraft is in all the music. I mean, Taylor Swift's last tour, right? There's a moment in the tour where they like dressed in like red robes and they danced around in a circle and they had this bubbling pot of something steaming.
Oh, it was wicked. Oh yeah, I saw that.
So my wife kind of been into that controversy. And one of the things that's been reported is that people that went to the concert, even though they were holding their phone up, recording the concert, right?
It didn't happen.
You say it didn't, they don't remember it happening. Then they'll go watch it on the phone. They're like, I don't remember that happening. And then that Craft for Christ chick talked about it. And she said that was an actual incantation that you would do if you were a witch. And that she used to be a witch, so she knows these sort of things.
These chants in Disney movies, a lot of these chants and the whole bread knobs and broomsticks and all, they're actually doing real.
Yes. She said that the latest Minion movie where they
for kids.
The latest Minion movie where they do the minions, where they do they bring forth a demon. She says that is a real, the things that they say and the things that they do is a real incantation to bring forth a spirit, and the spirit that they bring forth is an actual demonic spirit that some witches worship.
I believe it. Easily believe it, knowing what I know now about Hollywood and everything else. Another thing that's real indicative of pedophiles and doing the whole adrenochrome and drinking blood and everything is this. The red shoes. That's a big indicator. Now, you could be saying, well, it just goes with their outfit. Okay, I gotcha. Maybe.
I've seen that, but it may be an indicator, especially in a group, but it may be a one-off too. I mean, my wife has red shoes. I've had red shoes in the past. I didn't know about any of that stuff. I just like the shoes, but here's another
dude wore red shoes.
What
kind of red shoes would you wear?
Oh, when I was a teenager.
What do they call them? What was the big hot shoe in the 80s? And they were loafers, and
I don't know.
I can't think of the name right now. All communists love satanic crap, and now they love Islamists. Weird. You're right, Inspector.
Well, it's the same.
It is the same.
So
Harry Potter movies. There's another one.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched one.
Yeah.
Here is hip hop music. Just watch this.
Africa Bambaataa created hip hop. He was dressed like Pharaoh, bringing the curse of Egypt to America. Through this hip hop culture, that curse is what we are seeing.
Jay-Z, when I see these things popping out of his head, he looks crazy. And this hip hop culture that we keep it's taking us straight to hell. I'm like,
Switch Doctor, Shaman.
It is.
It's the hair of a shaman. He's basically a male witch. Jay-Z is tied into Maria Abramovich, so she's queen witch of the celebrities. He just did a whole video with her casting a spell over him, even in the video. Oshun, who Beyonce decorates herself as when she was pregnant, that's the goddess she basically went to get fertility, because Oshun is the goddess of fertility. Witchcraft in this stuff is so prevalent.
So that's some crazy stuff right there. You get to looking at all that. So I don't know, but I've been told, that's for sure. It's just a whole bunch of nuts. How about this one? Here's another story. This just broke.
Wait, before you move on, I've been searching for this photo because this is what came to mind as soon as you started playing that. Dagnabbit. I thought I had it ready to go. I suck. Again, I'm running. Every time I have to run my own board, it's just catastrophically bad. But thank you for your patience. When this guy's first hit the scene, I was working at Top 40 Radio, and the song was huge. Got requests for it constantly, and I was like, ay. So I came to hate it very quickly. But Coolio, remember him talking about the hair being all crazy?
Yeah.
Here's what I used to say. It looks like a herd of cats were all sucking on his hair for about an hour and a half. And that's what they came up with. That's how it turned out. Coolio, ladies and gentlemen, for your dining and dancing pleasure. You're welcome.
Have you seen it? I gotta find it again. I followed her on TikTok, but then that TikTok went away, and I haven't found her again. But there's a lady that does NPR 2055, and she goes, and that was White Ass Beep, a smash hit back in 2007 with the linguistic styles of all of that wet beep in your face.
Who was saying this? Where did you hear this?
This gal that does TikTok videos, and her shtick is NPR 2050, playing all the oldies.
Oh my goodness. Oh, funny.
Like that was Gangster Paradise.
Gangster's Paradise.
And she goes in and does the words, and so I don't know the words well enough to
actually
know.
saying the lyrics or just the title of the songs. Slap that wet ass. Those are the lyrics now.
I know.
I remember one song I'd gotten out of Top 40 Radio and I was back to country, thank God. But it was I want to lick you like a la 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 lollipop. I want to lick you like a la 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 lollipop. I got a G6. I'm a G6. Those are the songs that were coming out, and this is going back 2010.
Oh yeah,
2011. So it's only gotten far worse. I don't even listen to any of it anymore, nor do I care. But I know what it's doing to the young minds, though, that are listening to it and loving it and adoring it and worshiping it.
My daughter, who's married, got 5 kids, doing great out there in Kansas City. I laugh at her all the time. I'm going to let my kids listen to whatever music they want to listen to. It's a teenager, I'm going to let them have whatever they want.
Right.
And I call her up on the phone sometimes and I say, so are you letting her listen to this music anymore? She says,
letting her listen to whatever she wants.
We ain't listening to that. We ain't doing that.
Good.
She calls
Good
me up
girl.
the other day and she says, you got to come get your grandchildren. I'm done with them. That's what she said.
Come get your grandchildren.
That's what she said. Oh, it's wonderful. She was my problem child, but she's doing well now. So here's a breaking story, though. I'm just going to read it to you. It says, a massive ruling. A Trump, Florida federal judge just overturned foreign-born activist judge Sprinkle Sukanon and reinstates the SAVE system, what the executive order that Trump signed, and lets President Trump team root out illegal aliens trying to vote in elections. Judge Kent Wetherall of Florida confirmed it, reinstated plaintiffs' access to bulk upload and Social Security features in the SAVE system. In other words, they can take your ballot and see if you're have a Social Security number, and if you don't, well, you don't get to vote. So,
how about that? And that's happening in national elections. Here in California, we have an assemblyman who actually pushed this through. And when it first started, and I went to several of his campaign stops basically for this bill that he wanted on the ballot, not pushing it through the assembly, not pushing it through anything like that in California. He did it. He took it right to We the People, which is how it's supposed to be done. And he got enough signatures, more than enough needed. They threw away everyone that they possibly could, and they still had more than enough signatures needed to put it on the ballot this coming November, despite what happens with the piece of crap Republican Senate not passing the Save America Act. In California, it's going to be on the ballot that you have to show ID to vote.
I mean,
and it's got 70+% approval, Mike. There aren't 70% of Californians that are Republican. We're in the dismal little minority. 70% approval from many different polls, plus more than 70% approval of people saying, yeah, we want this, and they're going to vote for it. And that's coming up in November. And I think it's going to pass. Will they implement it? Will they ever? What?
75% CNN poll of black people want voter ID. 80% Hispanic. 85% of white.
That's nationally. I'm talking California. California is a different animal.
Not really. They're same people. Everybody. You know what? It's amazing to me that politicians across the spectrum, Senator Thune, across the spectrum are against this. You know what that tells me? They cheat too. Yep. Every single politician that's against common sense ID in voting are cheaters. Every one of them.
I see no other reason why they would not be all running to support this. I see no other reason. Why are they fighting against this when the whole nation, overwhelming majority of us, want it?
Yep.
Why would they be standing in the way of it passing?
Because they don't want the American people to see what an honest election will look like. That's why. Same reason.
Then they're not real Republicans. They're definitely not real conservatives. Because if they were, they would desire that. They would want us to have that, but they don't.
It's the same reason why Mitch McConnell, who's been in the hospital for 2 weeks, and his wife Elaine Chao, who's the daughter of a major shipping exporter in China. By the way, you can't own a business in China unless you're a member of the Communist Party.
Communist Party, right?
And she ran home back to China 2 days after he fell faint and unconscious, and has not been conscious since. Although now there's a bunch of Republicans saying, oh, we talk to him every day. He's doing fine. He's recovering. But he's been there for 2 weeks now. Laura Loomer has come out and said that he's brain dead. So who do you believe? But anyways, they're going to keep him around. They're going to keep him alive.
I'll believe Laura Loomer over every single politician.
They're going to keep him alive, in my opinion, till August 3rd. Because in Kentucky, after August 3rd, they'll just go to the general election. They won't worry about a special election where someone else could take that seat. They can keep control of the power, which is what it's about.
Forgive me for my ignorance on Kentucky politics, but is there a Republican or a Democrat governor there?
It's a Republican, I believe.
Okay.
Not 100%.
So he could appoint somebody, at least to carry out the rest of the term.
It depends on the state. I think it has to be a special election.
Does it?
Yes. And by August 3rd, the rules are by this many days before the election, if something was to happen, then you just go into the next election, you leave it vacant. I think that's what they're
Are there any good, solid, real conservatives?
Well, see, he's not running. He's not running for re-election. And the Trump endorsed candidate won the primary.
I would hope he's not running for re-election.
Kentucky has a Democrat governor.
Oh, they have a Democrat governor. Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of politicians, this is that I think this is from that new. Somebody tell me. Yeah, it says Angel, so that's what it's from. That new Young Washington movie. And this is a scene.
I haven't seen it yet, and I tried to find it in the theater around here. It's already moved on.
Yeah, it'll be out on Angel Studios for too long.
I want to see it.
This is an amazing little video. Watch this.
He wants to know who you are. Why? I ordered my warriors to shoot you. All of them. The men never miss.
They're talking to a red coat, right?
Our people.
No, that's Washington.
Legend.
Oh, that's him.
The spirit of protection that shields those chosen, those who walk in destiny. Creator chose you.
Tequila.
You've been shielded. So ask again. What are you called? My name is George Washington.
So the
What
Indian
the heck
guy,
was the choice? What was the choice of that music? What was that?
well, it was probably
Nicki
AI.
Minaj? What the heck was that?
Well, what that was covering it up so it doesn't get hit by copyright. That's what that was.
You serious? That's
yeah,
what that
silly.
is now?
Yeah. So,
Oh, how funny.
so
I'm glad I don't worry about any of that.
Yeah. So, what he was asking him was, "Who are you?" Because I ordered my Braves, my warriors, to shoot you, and they don't ever miss, but they didn't hit you. So you have something. The gods are with you. Who are you? We want to know who you are, what your name is. So it's pretty wild if you think about it. Glenn Beck was talking about it, and he said that there was, he said the Indian name, big Indian chief back in those days, and George Washington gave him one of his medals, and that Indian chief wore that medal proudly because his brother George Washington gave him this medal. For his whole life he wore that medal.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Inspector Cates, for reminding me about this. Here's another movie I want to see. Citizen Vigilante. Although you spelled it wrong, buddy. He says
That's
it's awesome.
Canadian spelling.
That must be it. That must be it.
A little off.
So, Citizen Vigilante has been banned in Germany and several European countries. They literally are not even allowed to show it because it's talking about somebody. Remember the movie with Michael Douglas. It was in the 80s, if I remember right.
Lost me with Michael Douglas. I don't care for him, so I don't ever watch.
At the time, he was cool. It was called Falling Down, if I remember right.
Oh yes, I did watch that one. That's an excellent movie. I didn't realize that was Michael Douglas, but I guess you're right. It was, wasn't it?
Excellent movie.
Yes.
And this, I guess, Citizen Vigilante is along the same lines, where he just kept getting harassed and kept getting picked on, and bad things happening to him by illegals. And he just finally has enough. So, I mean, we saw a whole series of movies like that, starring Charles Bronson, Death Wish. I've seen them all, by the way. Some of them are really bad, but I watch them anyway. And it was all a vigilante thing, and everybody loved that. But this movie, Citizen Vigilante, because it's about the illegals, exclusively talking about the illegals, and this guy's finally had enough. And he starts taking the law into his own hands. And they're freaking out about it in Ireland, England, Germany. All the European countries are banning it. Can't even watch it. So, and it's not in the theaters here. It came out, I think about 6 months ago. Whether it was
I don't know. I saw some stuff on it, and the one scene that I seen, I'm not going to go watch the movie. I don't know that I want to watch that. But
oh, really? You're not going to watch it?
It was very graphic, and I'm just like, I'm not. I mean, that's fine if you want to watch
it. Is it true?
Probably, but that's not. I'm not going to watch it. So.
If it's true, I'm going to watch it. But then again, I've been involved in film productions and so on, and I look at everything objectively. I'm like going, well, I know how they did that. Oh, that was a good special effect. Oh, I see how they made that blood shoot. So I look at it more like that.
That's fine and dandy, but I'm going to choose not to watch it. That's just
on X. Elon Musk has said, you know what? Everybody needs to see this.
He posted it, but I think I got taken down. I think
for free.
I think I got taken down because it was for free. I think the producers asked him to take it down after about 24 hours. So,
I can't watch it even still. I can't watch it anymore.
Yeah, I think so.
There's another one I missed.
Did you see this?
Which one? Oh, yes. Lightning striking the Washington Monument during the fireworks show. Yes. Dang.
A lot of people are saying that that's prophetic. I don't know. I'm just telling you what they said. I report, you decide kind of thing, right? So,
anyway. A lot of people are talking about and they have for all along, about the phallic symbol that it is, and that it all has to do with the worship of this is ancient Roman crap and them worshiping
Ancient
phallus.
Egyptian, yeah.
And Egyptian, yeah.
It is reminiscence of a Asherah pole, is what they're getting at. Now, whether it is or it ain't, I don't know. There is.
I mean, the Lincoln
prophetic word
Monument
out
doesn't
there.
look like that. And then we call George Washington the father of the country, and there's his wiener sitting there to remind us all he's the father of the country. What is that? Why was that design chosen? I've always wondered.
Well, and I agree with you. I don't know but there's some prophetic word about that too. We'll see what happens. Look for 2 storms to combine and hit DC, and I don't know what that means, but look for that. Here's one for you. You saw that there was a big to do about the kicker, the head kicker in the U.S. soccer team, and
The one who got banned from competing, and then President Trump made a phone call, and yeah,
and then they went up there and got their butts kicked by Belgium.
He got a voodoo spell put on him.
Well, somebody's saying not so fast, Belgium. The city of Los Angeles still has another 29 days to count the goals. So the game's not over yet. So you don't know how things work here in the States. So touche.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. True story.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, true story. True story.
Sad but
yeah.
true. Sad but true.
And did you hear about this guy? Did you hear about this guy? So the I don't know if Ron DeSantis is some who shared this. Yes, sometimes they don't put the right things. I'm not going to play the video because usually it's just nonsense. But the story's true. It's Florida governor candidate that ran against Ron DeSantis, and DeSantis won by 0.4%. He was just arrested for drug possession in Alabama with a sizable amount of drugs.
Who is he?
He's the guy that ran for governor of Florida against Ron DeSantis. 0.4% is what made DeSantis win.
We're working on the fact that he got as far as he did is sad and sick and ridiculous. And all my fellow conservative Californians who are all flooding to Florida. Florida's red. It's great. It's always going to be red. I will remind you that that's not true. And Florida doesn't have a history of always being red at all. And let's take a look at some of their past governors. Same with Texas. Richardson. Sound familiar?
Yeah, but see, the thing
Richards.
is,
Ann Richards. Remember her?
Yeah,
Flaming lefty.
If she compared her to the lefties today, she'd be center.
Yeah, good point.
So it isn't really
I'm
that.
just saying, I don't think you're safe moving everything to Florida, like all these corporations, and to Texas.
I don't have IDs, and you can count votes for 2 years. No one's safe in anywhere, so it doesn't really matter. Why vote? Just select them. It'd be easier.
Yeah.
So here's what's happening right now. The United States is striking Iran again. Another prophetic word that I put out, I don't have this one pulled up, is that Iran will not capitulate and the mullahs will die in their caves. This is the word given by God. He gave it to several people. He's confirmed it with me. They will not surrender. They will not give in, and they will die in their caves because they're 12 imamers. They believe that their God, their savior, their Messiah will come when the earth is bathed in the blood of the infidels and the Jews.
Exactly. That's why they're pushing for World War III, and they have been all along.
But they're going to die in their caves, and then the people of Iran are going to rise up and take their country back, and there will be a revival in Iran. And for a season, Iran will be a Christian nation.
Just like Lebanon used to be, just like Syria used to be.
Yep. So here's CNN's report. Just a few hours ago.
Iran because of these strikes on commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz that happened yesterday. It seemed at that point that was the
What's
only
the idea with President Trump doing the salute for their story?
Well,
what the heck's the idea?
This is hold on a second. Stop for a second. This is not CNN putting this montage together. This is Sergeant News Network over on.
I just ran across him today. Yeah.
Yeah, he puts a lot of good stuff out, but he puts stuff together like this. You got to make sure it all matches because his
Okay,
words down there. Which
my
can't tell
apologies.
you
I
matches.
assumed that it was something stupid CNN was doing, but it's something stupid Lee was doing.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
Because of these strikes on commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz that happened yesterday. It seemed at that point that was the only
that's why
that they were going to do until just about 15 minutes ago when CENTCOM announced that they were launching these strikes in Iran as another form of retaliation for striking those vessels. Here's what they posted on X. They said, U.S. Central Command forces have begun launching a series of powerful strikes against Iran to impose heavy costs for targeting and attacking commercial shipping crewed by innocent civilians in an international waterway. The U.S. strikes are in response to Iranian attacks on 3 commercial vessels that were transiting the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's demonstrated aggression was unwarranted, dangerous, and a clear violation of the ceasefire. Now, I do want to get to the NATO of it all in 1 second, but just a quick reminder that part of the deal in the memorandum of understanding for the ceasefire, the 60-day negotiating period, was that in exchange for the lifting of the sanctions as well as the removal of the blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, Iran would help the safe passage for these commercial vessels.
Which they're reneging on because they're scumbags.
Well, there's more to it than that, brother. They can wait it out. And I am quite convinced that they figure if they can keep fuel prices high, that Trump will pay and the whole Republican Party will pay in the midterm elections coming up. That is
not working.
Not at the moment.
It's not working. Oil's at
and I know we
72.38.
finally. I don't know why have we taken so long to get the mines out of there. Why was that a delay? But they supposedly, allegedly, have gotten all the mines out there. So the ships
find them because they didn't exist.
Oh, that was it, huh? Okay,
Yep.
So they're fronting. They're flexing.
And
they're waiting it out. They're doing it on purpose. They're dragging their feet, and they're going to let this go on and on and on.
Dragging their feet.
Because they want us to get all mad and rise up against the Republicans and President Trump in the midterm elections because our fuel prices are so high. And if fuel prices are high, everything else stays inflated too because somebody's got to pay for it to be transported somewhere.
Well, the thing is, the prices of our fuel has gone up a little bit. It's not nearly as high as when Joe Biden was in office. It's not nearly as high as when Barack Hussein Obama was in office.
Good
right?
point.
It's gone up a little bit. It's kind of stabilized and it's gone down a little bit. Listen to my point of what I'm saying to you. We get 0% of our fuel and oil from that part of the country.
We do. I know. You're right. I know that.
Okay.
Well,
we are
California
a net exporter of oil in this country. Because of that, our price hasn't fluctuated. Places like Europe are in trouble. Russia's in trouble. China's in trouble, but we're not. Japan just bought umpteen gazillion barrels of oil from us from Alaska. Donald Trump worked that deal out, which makes our price go down. The other thing is everybody's saying Donald Trump's keeping the price down by releasing the strategic oil reserve. There isn't anything in it.
Hell no, he's been building it back up.
It's empty. It's empty. He hasn't even been building it back up. It's empty. He's waiting for the price to go down to build it up. It's empty.
You think it is empty?
Joe Biden.
I know Joe Biden almost depleted it. You're saying he did completely.
Yeah. Well, there's, when you get down to the bottom of the milk jug, there's still some in there, but it's not worth getting. It doesn't fill a bowl of cereal. Same kind of thing. We have the purpose of the strategic oil reserve is not to set the price of fuel.
No.
The purpose is if we go to war,
right?
We have about 6 months of oil reserve. Right now, we have days of oil reserve. So that's not happening. What's happening is this. The EPA changed the rules, and now there's more than 5, less than 10. I don't remember the exact number. Brand new oil refineries that can refine the sweet crude of Texas. We have 0 oil refineries in the United States that can refine that oil. We have to take that oil and ship it somewhere else to have it refined. Why do we have zero? Because we haven't been allowed to build an oil refinery in this country in my entire life. I'm 54 years old, almost 55.
And 3 of them have shut down in California.
Yes. So everybody knows that they don't want to buy. The oil price is not, when you're paying $3 or you're paying $72 and whatever cents for oil today, you're not buying oil today. You're buying oil in August, September, October, November. So these people are pricing oil going, I don't think that this is going to last. And that's why it's happening. That's why it's happening. Of course, Iran has responded and said this. Seems like the U.S. bases will be totally removed tonight. Wait for the rapid and decisive response. Now, when this first started, way back when, this time last year.
I want to find Jay Boland's comment, by the way, while you're explaining
when this
this.
first happened, Iran was launching hundreds and hundreds of intercontinental ballistic missiles, and let's see, is power
asking for a friend.
Trump was saying earlier today that he didn't want to do that because he doesn't want to do that to the Iranian people, but if he has to do it. But way back then, they were launching thousands of drones, hundreds of missiles. Now they're launching tens of drones and maybe a missile. They don't have the ability anymore because not only did we take out their launchers, we took out their manufacturing plants. We took out the ball bearing plants. World War II, we were bombing Dresden to get rid of the ball bearing plants. Why? Because without the ball bearings, they couldn't make tanks and guns and everything else that needed the ball bearings. Well, we did the same thing with them. We took down the supply chain plants to make these things. So it's really they don't have the ability to produce what they had. They used to have some stuff stacked away that hasn't been found yet, but they don't have the ability. So that's, and I talked about it on my show today, some of the stuff that we've come up with. Did you know that last week that a B-2 bomber out of Whiteman Air Force Base here flew off to the Pacific towards Guam and sunk a ship, one of our derrick ships? You know how we do. We get an old ship, we sink and make a reef out of it, right?
Yeah.
They sunk. So a stealth bomber flew off towards Guam and launched a stealth ship-killing cruise missile and sunk a ship as proof of concept. And they announced it last week that they did that. Why would they do that? Because here's the thing. One stealth bomber carries 5 of these cruise missiles. 5 of these stealth bombers carry 25 of these cruise missiles, right? 5 times 5, do the math. We have several more than that. We also know that our stealth technology can evade the best Timu radar systems that China has, because we did it they had the best system money could buy in Iran, and they had the best system money could buy in Venezuela, and it didn't work. So here's what they just said to China. They said, hey, we know you got that nice, pretty aircraft carrier, and you got 20 or so support craft around, battleships or not battleships, but destroyers and cruisers and corvettes around to protect, with all their stuff. Well, we can fly in. You won't see us. You won't know we're there until your ships blow up. Suckers. That's what we just said. We can sink their entire Navy and they'll never know we were there. That's one of the things that just came up.
Navy's already sunk. I mean, that's a done deal. No more Air Force either.
No, I'm talking about China. That was a message to China.
Good heavens. I missed that part.
Yeah. And then there's this story.
Reading this comment right here.
There's this story. I'm not going to read you the whole story. I'm going to tell you about the story, but I want to show you the picture.
Okay.
This is the new F-15EX Eagle 2. This is the Eagle that they're redoing, put all the updated avionics they're using as a platform. This is an MQ-28 Ghost Bat, And this drone aircraft, unmanned drone aircraft, is tethered to this aircraft. This aircraft operates in tandem with this aircraft. Oh, I don't have it on the screen. Why don't I have it on the screen?
No, we're waiting.
I know, it's crackhead. So this is the Eagle. This is the drone, and they fly together. And they went out to a big Pacific training exercise, and they flew these planes for the first time together. With working together, drone and piloted aircraft in simulated combat. It's a whole new thought process on how to do combat.
Over on the far right of the screen in the lower corner there.
That's beach volleyball advertisement, you pervert.
Is that what you wanted me to look at? Because that's right where my eyes went. I'm sorry.
This is an animation of what they think is going to work.
Figuring ATS flight to update mission parameters.
Look at that. Whoa. Wicked. This looks like a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Well, it's an AI generated movie put out by the Defense Department to give you an idea.
Oh, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Jean-Claude was AI before AI was cool. Oh, Boeing put that out. All right.
So basically, the drones were over here, and all their sensors were turned on. So the radars and sensing equipment of the enemy was detecting the drones, while the F-15 Eagles were over here jamming everything, and they didn't see them coming. And that's the idea behind what that technology is going to do. And I'm sure it's way more better than that.
Why are we telegraphing that to our enemies? Why are we giving them these kind of ideas?
The same reason that we told them about the same reason that we told them about the
whole sound wave thing that'll make you throw up.
Well, that too, the discombobulator, yes. The same
discombobulator. That's the official military term.
Yeah, that's Trump's term. He's president, so I guess that's what it is.
The screwer upper.
I think it says Acme discombobulator on it. I'm pretty sure it's what it says.
Beep, 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 beep.
So, but no, the same reason why we told them we can fly our B-2s and shoot these brand new cruise missiles that you can't see coming and blow up your entire Navy. The same reason why Pete Hegseth advertised that he was out at White Sands, New Mexico, watching a laser shoot down multiple targets, shooting down artillery, shooting down mortars, shooting down drones, shooting down cruise missiles, and shooting down ballistic missiles with a laser. And they said that the cost of deployment per firing is about $2, as opposed to $1 million or $100,000 with the various systems they're using in Israel right now. And we now have this in mass production in the United States. This is not an accident that they're telling the world these things. We're telling the world, don't mess with us. You know, we're telling the world this is the hood version of lifting your shirt and showing that you're strapped. That's what this is.
You know what this flashed me back to was my President Ronald Reagan when he proposed the SDI, Space Defense Initiative, and all the media and all the Hollywood types and all the pundits and all the experts and all the brilliant commentators made fun of him and called it Star Wars and said, how stupid is that? What a complete waste. Those morons at the same time that they're over here bashing my president for saying we need to be developing this. This is a smart move, and it is, and it was then, and it is even more so now. Remember how Russia responded to all that? They didn't think it was funny. They didn't think it was funny at all.
Oh, they went broke. They went broke, and then on top of that, that was the jab. That was the jab, right? The jab, the left hand jab, right hand swing. That was the jab, right? Was Star Wars, strategic defense, and all this other stuff. The strike was the first Gulf War. That's what put the Russians over the top. So that's why they collapsed. And here's why. Because Iraq had the 4th largest army in the world. They had twice as many armored vehicles than we did. They were using the top line at the time T-72 tank. We were told, because I was in a tank unit, I was in a heavy mech unit, we were told to expect 50% casualties as the two tanks came together, a mano, right? That's what we were told. So, but what happened using textbook Russian military theory with Russian advisors on the ground, my unit, which was 197th Infantry, and the tank unit was 269, which was a battalion, so that was 4 or 5 companies, probably 50 tanks. I don't remember how many. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. But about that many took out 2 divisions of Republican Guard tanks. One of the things that the tanks would do, the Russian tanks, is their first line of defense, they'd be buried in the ground. Okay? They'd be buried in the ground, just their turrets sticking out.
Yep.
And then they would have in the rear, they would have their tanks coiled like this. And the idea behind it was that as this is happening, they could take their rapid deployment tanks and push them into where they needed them, where the breaches were happening, and repel the enemy. The problem is that we attacked at night, and they don't have the same kind of optics we do. We attacked during a sandstorm, which they don't have the same kind of optics we do.
Right.
And we started shooting them from 2.5 miles away when they could only shoot about 1,000 yards. We were moving, and we could shoot the M1 tank, first tank in the world. Big tanks couldn't do this at the time. We were moving at 60 miles an hour, or whatever it was they were moving, with our tank barrels perfectly straight that could target 7 targets, and all the loaders had to do was load it, and the gunner just had to hold the trigger. The turret would set itself. Boom, 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 boom. We destroyed their frontline units and got into their coils of reinforcement before they got their engines started.
That actually that coil thing that goes back to the whole circling the wagons. It was actually pretty dang smart. I've read some write-ups on all that and the strategery of it.
It was smart in World War II. It was not smart against the M1 main battle tank in 1990. It just wasn't. So what happened is
Can you imagine being part of that crew, by the way, in the tank that was freaking buried?
Oh yeah,
and you're going to be in there for days. That would suck.
It was over pretty quick when the turret blew off and the flames went from the rounds cooking off. I mean, it didn't take long, but
it didn't take long.
The thing is about it is that the Soviets went, oh crap, because their entire doctrine, their entire system, their whole thing, they were like, we're done. We there's nothing we can do against the Americans. Nothing. Because you know how many tanks we lost in that battle?
I'm guessing 0. One.
It was shot by an Apache by mistake.
The Native Americans were there too?
Yes. Apache attack helicopter. Come on, man. Army guy.
That's crazy, man. Those Indians get around.
I know, right?
Yeah. Tomahawk. They tomahawked your tank. I'll bet you got stories. Have you ever shared those stories? What it's like being part of a tank crew? How's your hearing, by the way?
No. I wasn't part of the tank crew. I was.
You weren't.
But that was my unit. I drove during the war. I drove 5,000 gallons of diesel.
Oh, you were fueling them, but
Yeah, I was a mechanic, but they needed drivers. Yeah, I was feeling them. Yeah, that was.
Well, they were trying to target you then big time. They wanted to take you out before you could get to the tanks. You probably had all kinds of IED encounters and so on.
Well, they
didn't
didn't do IEDs back then. It was
Oh.
fourth largest army in the world against us. That didn't come about till afterward. That strategeries came up after they got their butts kicked, and they said, "Well, that's not going to work. We're going to have to do something else." So
We're going to have to be sneakier.
Well, and of course, who invented guerrilla warfare? Who invented that type of warfare?
Communists.
No.
Yeah.
We did. We invented. Yes, we did.
You think so?
In 1776, when we were hiding behind, Bill Cosby.
Okay.
Bill Cosby, they flipped a coin and we won the toss, and we said you have to wear red and march in straight lines, and we're going to hide behind the rocks and trees and everything.
You have to all be in line and squat down and shoot at us, and then back up, and then the next column comes up. Okay, got it. You're right. You're right. Okay,
because that's the kind of warfare that we did.
We'll take credit for that.
As a matter of fact, that's more true. I can't remember what the general was. The general that was fighting in the South, and Cornwallis forces chased him all the way up north, all the way up to
World War II, or what? No. This Revolutionary War.
Revolutionary War. And what he did is he drew. I can't remember the name of the general, but the American forces.
That was Schwarzkopf, General Schwarzkopf.
Yeah, that was wrong war. But he withdrew Cornwallis out back.
Patton. His name was
all
Patton.
The way up north towards George Washington, and all along the way they were getting conscripts into the American forces. So the American forces was getting stronger. They would destroy the farmland and stuff, take all the crops and take everything, the American forces, so that there was nothing for Cornwallis, who had this big long wagon train of supplies as further and further he got. So, and their forces were getting weaker and weaker and weaker.
That's kind of how the Russians worked it when the Germans were chasing them back to Moscow. They were doing the same thing.
It's a great strategy for a weaker force on a stronger force. And then they picked the ground and they turned and they fought him all the way back to what fort was it right there? And that's when the French showed up and they surrendered because it was over at that point. So can't remember what the fort was. I'd have to go back and read the story. It's been a while. So yeah, we invented guerrilla warfare. We invented it was the Kentucky long rifles, a bunch of guys in deer skin hiding in the woods like the Indians, going, okay, the guy on horseback with the big silver thing right here, hit him right above the silver thing with the Kentucky, the first rifle, the gun used in combat.
You just brought something to mind, though. Technically, we did not invent it. The Indians did. We just kind of stole their tactics, didn't we?
Well, we what's the word I'm looking for? Industrialized it. On a grand scale.
We borrowed it. All right, my friend. Well, we've been on for a couple hours, I think. Do you want to continue? Because I got more stuff. It's up to you.
No, I probably need to go to bed. I got to do a show in the morning. But what do you got? One more thing. What do you got?
I would like to ask you, though, if you don't mind putting in the chat room, would you like us to start earlier? Because I've noticed every week we have a lot of people that start bailing towards the end just because it's late where you are. I'm on the West Coast. Doesn't matter to me, but I can definitely start earlier. We can start let's see, you're 8:15 Central Time. We could start at 6:15 Central. How would that work for you, Mike?
I don't know about 6, but maybe closer to 7 anyways. So
go 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we'd be, I mean, how's the audience there? I don't even know. Would that adversely affect it? We're trying to, when you're starting out something like this, you got to experiment and just see what works. And then, if you catch a greater viewership, and ultimately that's what this is all about. Mike and I are doing this for 2 reasons. One, we love it. We enjoy it very much. And the other one is, we're trying to introduce you to newwaveoflife.com/CharLee Simons. That's another thing too. But also
help pay the bills.
Also, we're true patriots. And I'm saying this from my heart. I can't speak for Mike, but I think he feels the same way I do. If you can't do anything else, do what you know to make a difference and to make an impact and to actually try and do something positive. That's why I do this. because I'm not making any freaking money off of it. Cost me money to do this. And on Rumble, my Rumble channel, rumble.com/do not talk. How much did I make last month, Mike?
I don't
You
know.
don't know yet. $50.60.
Woo!
That's the money.
Ding, 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 ding.
It doesn't pay. And YouTube has all the money, but I've been kicked off there, and Facebook and everywhere else. So, but ultimately we've got to consider that kind of thing. You know, what's going to be best for you? What is conducive to you being able to watch us and catch us every week on Tuesdays? What time is good for you so it doesn't run so late? If you could throw that into the chat room, and Mike, maybe monitor that. 8:30 Eastern time. Okay, 7:30 Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. That'd be 7 Central.
We'll figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, keep looking at that. In the meantime, I wanted to bring this up. We're going to talk about this a while, though, because this is really bothering me. I hate our media. I've been in the media my entire adult life, and I've never hated my own business more than I do now. Because this is the story that nobody's covering. Chicago man. Well, he's not Chicago. He's from Venezuela. He's here illegally. Accused of fatally shooting a Loyola University student along the lakefront. Just returned to court. During his appearance, they briefly addressed 3 separate cases involving Jose Medina, a 25-year-old piece of crap, accused of fatally shooting 18-year-old Loyola student. She had just started going to college. Sheridan Gorman. This happened back in March. First set of charges stems from the shooting of Gorman. But according to Chicago police, Gorman and a group of friends were walking near a beach in Rogers Park when a masked gunman approached them. Prosecutors say the gunman opened fire and shot Gorman in the back. Now, why? Why would the media not be reporting on this?
Because it doesn't fit the narrative. It doesn't fit the narrative. That's why.
There you go. That's a good call. That's definitely one of the reasons. Here's her and the piece of trash.
Yeah, this is the one that the mom just spoke out in the hearings in Congress. Did you see that?
Yes, I did, and I've got it.
She was awesome.
Yeah, and I've got that if you want to watch it. I've got that. But I also wanted you to see this. Let's get rid of that. And let's bring in this. No, not that. No, wait. Yes, that. Dang it. Here we go. This is a Democrat. A Democrat that is trying to get Sheridan's mom.
That's Pramila Jalapala.
Yeah, that idiot. So he's there. Why am I not finding the video? Dag nabbit. And this
probably still loading.
This there's Ilhan right next to her, by the way. Tried to stop this Democrat during this Senate hearing from actually testifying, actually coming up and speaking. It tried to. You've got to see this. Here it is. Here it is. I found it. Wait a minute. No. Hold on a second. I got to call it up. Let's get rid of that. Thank you for your patience. Waiting for me to get my act together here. I appreciate it very much.
I ain't no doctor. I ain't got no patience.
See, I have to do one thing at a time. I have to take out the other. It was working so much better. Last couple of weeks, I finally got it together and I figured out how to do all this right. And then I went off and left it all at home. I'm not at home. I'm at a different studio tonight. Here it is. This time for Scherzies. Okay, here's what happened when this Democrat tried to bring this mom up to testify. That's my boy, Tom McClintock, right there. By the way, Congressman McClintock, California.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for having me at this important hearing. I'm here today to introduce Jessica Gorman. Jessica should not be here today. She should not be testifying before Congress. She should be back in New York with her daughters, Madeline and Sheridan, enjoying a quiet Tuesday afternoon in the summer. But unfortunately, Jessica is here with us today. And she's here because just a few short months ago, her beautiful daughter, Sheridan, was shot and killed in Chicago by an illegal immigrant. I cannot say it loud enough or clear enough, but this nation and this Congress owes you an apology. We are sorry to you, to Tom, and to Madeline. I didn't know Sheridan personally, and that's a tragedy. But I know her family, and I know the Yorktown community. I know that she was a kind and compassionate young woman who cared about her community and had a bright future ahead of us. And I know without a doubt in my mind the incredible things she would have done with her life should she had been given a chance. Her murder was senseless. It should not have happened. Our immigration policies exist for a reason, and they should have been enforced. Sheridan would still be with us today, and Jessica would not have to testify before this panel. Our immigration laws facilitate legal immigration processes to ensure that good, smart people can come into this country, assimilate, and contribute to our communities, while also ensuring that criminals who break the law do not get to stay.
Now, I'll remind you, this is a Democrat, New York Congressman Lawler, who's about to bring in this girl's mother to be part of this testimony. And here's what happens from what's his face? Fat Bridge troll, Jerry Nadler, and that other one. Go ahead on.
Their jobs are made infinitely harder when places like New York and Chicago blatantly disregard existing law and provide safe harbor to criminals. Sanctuary policies
Mr. Chairman,
are the reason.
Point of order.
Here we go.
This is a statement, not an introduction.
General lady's point is well taken. Gentlemen, please flash the introduction.
Thank you.
Back in
He's introducing
May of
her.
2023, over 3 years ago, Sheridan's murderer illegally entered the United States. Border Patrol caught him. They apprehended him. But then, because of the Biden administration's ludicrous open border policies, he was released in country.
This is a Democrat saying this.
A month later, he was arrested for shoplifting in Chicago. Under existing law at the time, he should have been deported right then and there. And
Point of order, this is not
abiding by our federal laws.
Point of introduction, it's the speech. Yes.
Chairman. Precisely because you have failed to do your job.
Yes,
You wonder why you had 4 years.
It's freezing up on our side.
If people don't stick to the rules. So I appreciate the chairman's insistence that we stick to the rules and that you have the opportunity to introduce your constituent.
Right, and introducing my constituent.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Want to hear the details?
He is not even the committee chair, and she's saying
matter.
The gentleman will suspend.
It's this guy. Yes, that's a Republican, and he sides with the Democrats. He's a I looked him up. He did. He is not running for re-election. He's out in November, and it was in another hearing where he was doing this exact.
Talk about
same thing.
McClintock.
Yes,
Or Lawler.
The chairman of the
Californian.
committee. I don't
That's
know where he's from.
McClintock. That's Tom McClintock. He's not running for re-election. He told me he was when I saw him at the Republican convention.
According to when I looked it up, I don't. That's the chairman guy right there. That's who we're talking about. He did this in another hearing.
Yeah, chair of that committee. Okay, got it.
Same thing. He sided with the Democrats.
Chair that.
Shut people up.
Yeah, that's McClintock.
It was with Markwayne Mullen.
Tom Mullen. Yeah, Tom McClintock has done many things over the last couple of years that have really disappointed me. And I was always in his corner. And if we had a good conservative running against him, but I did not know that he had decided not to even run again.
That's what that's what, when I looked it up, that's what the news was. But
I think
he may have changed his mind.
Yeah. Congress is
He's probably been hanging around Swallowwell, so he doesn't want to be up there for too much longer.
He's hanging around Swallowwell. Yeah. But I also have the mom's testimony, even though we didn't get to see it in that hearing. I do have that if you want to see it.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead and play it. I'm going to drop off here for a second, though, while you're playing that, okay?
Got to poo.
I gotta go let the dog out. It's whining.
Okay, all right. I'll go ahead on. Do your thing, because I've got it right here. Here it is. This is very, very powerful.
Hi, my name is Sheridan Gorman. I'm sorry. My name is Jessica Gorman. I'm the mother of Sheridan Grace Gorman. Sheridan was 18 years old. She was a freshman at Loyola University, Chicago. She was beautiful. She was funny, faithful, loving, full of plans to build something with her life. On March 19th, Sheridan went with friends to the lakefront in Chicago because they hoped they might see the northern lights. She never saw those lights. The man accused of murdering my daughter is Jose Medina, an illegal immigrant from Venezuela who should not have even been in this country. And even after committing a crime and having an outstanding warrant, he was left on the streets of Chicago to murder my innocent American child. But this story, it's not about him. The story is about my Sheridan. It's about how failed border policies, sanctuary city laws, and twisted leaders refused to cooperate with ICE. They sent her to her grave. It's about a government and politicians that forgot their first priority. And the question before this committee is painfully simple. When did protecting our American citizens stop being your first priority? And even more important, why did protecting our American citizens stop being your first priority? I want an explanation, I need one, and I deserve one. But first, I want you to know who my Sheridan was. I want you to understand what we all lost because of your mismatched priorities. My husband and I have always joked that our older daughter, Madeline, is our pride. Well, Sheridan was our joy. From the moment she was born, Sheridan was pure energy, enthusiasm, laughter, fun. She was the kind of person who made every room brighter and usually a little louder. Which is why when Sheridan was in kindergarten, I remember going to her first parent-teacher conference. I was a little nervous because while she was the sweetest little girl you could possibly imagine, she was also the chattiest. I remember sitting down across from her teacher, bracing myself and asking with bated breath, "So, how's my Sheridan?" I'll never forget when the teacher looked at me very seriously and said, "I only have one thing to say to you." Oh, my stomach dropped. Then she said, "Your Sheridan stalks the buddy bench." I remember blinking at her. "I'm sorry, what?" She said, "Your Sheridan stalks the buddy bench."
The what?
I was totally confused, and I asked, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? And what exactly is a buddy bench? And the teacher smiled and said, "It's a beautiful thing." She explained that they had a bench in the play yard. She said that not all kids are as outgoing and confident as your Sheridan, so the children were told that if they wanted to play or if they felt lonely, left out, shy, they could sit on that bench. And then the other children were told that if they saw someone sitting there, they should go over, talk to them, ask them to play. And apparently Sheridan, my tiny kindergartner, had appointed herself the guardian of that bench. Every day at recess, instead of heading straight to the swings or joining in a game of kickball, my daughter hung back and hovered by the nearby tree, just watching that bench, just waiting, just in case someone might need her. Because even have a chance to fully sit down on the bench before Sheridan was rushing over to take them, to take their hand, pull them away. Girls, boys, first graders, kindergartners, it really didn't matter to her. If the child looked lonely, Sheridan went over. If someone had no one to play with, Sheridan was there. If someone felt invisible, Sheridan saw them. That was my daughter, and that is who she was until the day she was stolen from us. And I honestly can't make sense of it. I cannot make peace with it. And in what world does the child who spent her life making sure no one was lonely die terrified and alone on a pier in Chicago? In what world does the girl who saw everyone become invisible to the people in power responsible for protecting her? This cannot be explained away, and it cannot be buried beneath a list of unrelated issues that you all paraded before us. Thanks for telling me without telling me that, you're here, but you don't want to be. This is the fourth time you've had angel families. Thanks for telling me you don't care. This cannot be buried under your slogans, your statistics, or excuses, and this just can't stand. So today, I bring this back to the buddy bench. I think Congress needs one. I think every governor, every mayor, every sanctuary city official and politician shifting blame and interest, hiding behind their slogans and talking points should have to all sit on one. And I challenge you all to sit down with me, take my hand, look me in the eye, and then explain to me, because I just don't understand. Explain why people here illegally matter more than your American citizens. Explain why sanctuary policies matter more than my Sheridan's life. Explain why cooperation with ICE was too much to ask for, but asking our American parents to bury our children is somehow acceptable. Ask me. I need you to tell me. I want you to imagine that little girl on the buddy bench, that innocent college freshman with a heart full of compassion and a head full of dreams that was gunned down by an illegal immigrant. I want you to imagine that was your daughter, not mine. What if she was yours? Would you even hesitate for 1 second to act, to make changes? My Sheridan spent her whole life choosing others. Today, I'm just asking this committee in our Congress and our country to choose her. She was worth protecting. She was worth saving. And she was worth your brave vote. To all of those who have supported us, who have prayed for us, who have cried with us, and to those who have had the courage to speak out and say Sheridan's name, thank you. Because every time you say her name, you give a piece of her back to us. You remind the world that Sheridan was not a talking point. She wasn't a statistic or a headline. She was our daughter. She will always be my sweet sunshine. And if the people who failed her would rather look away, then I'm asking the rest of you to look right at her. Here she is. There's she and I. Here she is. This is taken the day before she died. Say her name, tell her story, and demand better. Because my Sheridan Grace Gorman should still be alive. And no mother should have to stand where I am standing, begging elected leaders to value my child's life after it's already too late. I cried when I came into the room. I saw this poster that you made. It says, at every stop, the system had a chance to stop him. At every step, it failed. And my daughter paid for those failures, your failures, with her life.
Yep.
Yep. That's about all you can say, really. And they didn't want her to talk. There was another. They didn't. They dirtbag politicians.
Beautiful.
See, they want to.
My daughter's beautiful too. I need you to think about what these policies are, and I need you to imagine this is your daughter, because I'm very sure you won't be cutting off anyone when they're speaking. You won't. I'd be very sure you won't call this a political stunt. The grief is real. Every day I wake up with unimaginable pain. You know what? I wake up in the middle of the night and I think, did my daughter cry for me? She made it 40 feet. She made it 40 feet running for her life.
Oh, good Lord.
She cry out for me. She died on that pavement all by herself, lonely. bleeding on that pavement. And I will never, ever rest. I actually have to say that I am devastated. My husband and I, we're only a couple years away from retirement. I've worked my whole life so hard. All I wanted to do was just enjoy our children. Just wanted to enjoy my Sheridan, my Madeline. And now I'm bitter. I'm bitter because I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm a lover. I love children. I love pumping people up and making them feel good about themselves. I'm not racist. I'm not xenophobic. We've done everything right, my husband and I. We taught our daughter to be wonderful, beautiful person. Her love was extravagant. And now I'm going to have to spend my last waking moment, I'm going to have to spend fighting against these policies, fighting for people to say her name. So if you have the courage, please come talk to me. Come sit on that bench. I'll buy Congress a bench. Talk to each other. Talk to each other. We shouldn't be screaming across the room. I mean, we also shouldn't say but, because I have to just say, and I understand that you're here for a reason. I don't understand why it's only the Republican side that cares about our American children. And I know that you're a mother. I know that you're a father. I deeply value that. But basically what you just did, what you said was, I'm so sorry for your loss. I have a daughter too. I have a son. I feel your pain. You don't feel my pain, because the next words out of your mouth were, but. There's no but. When your child is in a coffin, there's no but. And I need you to understand that. And if you ever want to talk about it, I'm here. I'm going to buy you a bench. I can put that on the record. I'm going to buy Congress a bench. And they can come and sit and hold my hand and look me in the eye and explain to me why illegal immigrants are more important than my daughter. I really want to know, because I don't understand. Please, I welcome you. I will listen. I will listen. I care. I care. I just need you to explain it to me, because I don't, and I fear I will never understand. Thank you.
Mike's right. They tried to stop that. This woman right here, as a matter of fact, who we showed earlier. This is the one that tried to prevent that from actually happening. Her testifying there. Stop, Spike. Spike's bumping my arm because he wants under my arm. There she is. Can you see it? Is it up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's the idiot.
Primala Japalapalapala.
Yeah, who cares? From Washington State, one of the most ridiculous states in the union, told the parents of children murdered by illegal immigrants that Congress has other things to do. Unfortunately, let me do it in how I imagine her voice is. Unfortunately, this hearing is the fourth time in this committee that we've had a hearing on sanctuary cities. The fourth time. There's many other things that we could be doing other than this. Tell you how Paul said.
We could be arresting all the politicians in the sanctuary cities. That's what we could be doing.
Good point. I'm sick of it, buddy. I'm really, really angry. I'm sick of it. And here in California, we are a sanctuary state here in California, by the way. Not only we take it one step further, because we're just that stupid. We have sanctuary cities in a sanctuary state.
Yep.
San Francisco comes to mind, where there's been many murders from illegals, and the media is ignoring it. And I'm sick of it. And that's why I want to watch that movie, Citizen Vigilante. Is it going to prompt me to go out and do that same kind of thing? No. But I want to see it. The movie, like I referenced earlier, Michael Douglas Falling Down, we can only be pushed so far before we have just had it. I don't advocate violence. I work against it. But I'm angry. I'm really angry. I don't know what to do about it, other than just keep showing up, keep trying to talk about it, keep trying to bring this out when everyone else tries to ignore it. I don't know if it'll have any kind of positive effect, but I do know I have to pray. I have to pray. But I pray like David. I pray that these people who are perpetrating these crimes against we, the people, will come to Jesus, that they'll have their come to Jesus moment. Can you imagine the turnaround in this state and in this nation if people like Nancy Pelosi and that wicked demon Scott Wiener and Governor Hairdo suddenly said, "Hey, I'm a Christian now, by the way. Forgot to tell you. I'm following Christ Jesus now, and all this kind of stuff I've been doing in the past, I'm not going to do it anymore." Imagine that impact it would have. So I do pray for that. I pray for their salvation. But then I take it one step further, like David. I take seriously to pray against evil. If it's not your will to save them, Lord, destroy them. Bring them down.
We are in the time and the place that God's judgment is going to happen. And yes, pray for their salvation and all that stuff, but understand that there's a point in every man's life, every woman's life, that if you keep ignoring God and you keep spitting in his face with your sins, that he turns you over to yourself. And many of these people have been turned over to themselves and their reprobate minds. They have no conscience because it's been seared out of them. And there is no hope. And these are the ones that will self-deport when God does what he's about to do and exposes all of this. And the reason that they side with the illegal alien immigrant murderers over the beautiful young college freshmen, the reason they side with the black woman under no assault on the bus,
on that train,
by a bunch of white idiot Fed agents, but not the white girl who had her throat slashed just because he could on another bus somewhere else. The reason that they do that is because they have no soul. It's gone. They've made their decision. And this is the only heaven they're ever going to see. Because hell isn't a place with pitchforks and a guy with a red tail and horns. Hell is eternal separation of God, and you've never experienced that in your life because God is. In God we have our being. In God we have our existence. We exist in God. He is all things. He is Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the everlasting one. He is. That's what he said. When Moses said, "Who do I say you are?" He says, "I am." We exist. God, whether you believe in him or not, he's there. When you go to hell because you die without Christ and you spend eternity separated from God, you'll understand these words coming out of my mouth. I hope it's not too late for you. I hope that you find Christ before then, because it isn't about the pitch sport. It isn't about partying with your friends. It's about eternal separation from the God that is your very breath. And that's going to be really bad. And there are people that are walking around right now, people in our government, people in our Hollywood, people in our finances, people that are your neighbors, people at your church who God has already rejected. But that's not what the Bible says. But Jesus loves everyone. No, that's not what the Bible says. Many are called, but few are chosen, is what the Bible says. The road to hell is wide, but the pathway to heaven is small, and only a few find it, is what the Bible says. And if God rejects you and turns his back on you and removes his spirit from you, what hope do you have? Don't be like that. Don't be like that.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah. Don't be Pharaoh. I'm just saying.
Don't be Pharaoh.
Well, that's what happened. 5 times Pharaoh hardened his own heart against what God wanted. Let my people go. The next 5 times, God hardened his heart. And if God hardens your heart, who softens it? When God hardens your heart, you have no hope. It's
You
over.
got nothing.
And these people, like Jabba Pala, whatever name is on the border. God says this.
What if Sheridan Gorman was not white?
Well, if Sharon Gorman was not white and her daughter that's the daughter.
The daughter
if
of
she was
Sheridan,
killed
yeah.
by an illegal alien, it would be exactly the same.
Right. Got it. Let's say the illegal aliens from, I don't know, Australia, because they came from all over the world during those 4 years.
Then we would have the Carmela Anthony, George Floyd thing going on.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's what we would have. Mm-hmm.
And that is what I'm the most tired of. Double standards. I despise them.
Well, the problem is when you have no standards, then double standards are not a problem.
Good point.
It's serious. They have no standards. Right now, all the Democrats are screaming and hollering that the Nazi guy they picked in Maine is just too much because he raped a girl now, if it comes out. I'm shocked that the Nazi guy raped a girl. And now they're bailing on him, telling him he needs to drop out of the race.
Isn't that something? Now the Democrats are finally going, oh, shoot. I guess
because
we got to bail.
In their own rhetoric. They're trapped in their own words.
It's hilarious, isn't it?
They spent a year screaming and hollering about Epstein.
The
The
double standard.
While at the same time going, I support the Nazi guy who rapes women. But now that it's come out, oh my gosh, I'm caught in a catch-22 because I said I stand with the victims. #MeToo and all that. Yeah. The problem is they all knew it. They all knew it anyway. Every one of them knew it. Because they all do it too. Anyway, I probably ought to get off here and go to bed. I got a show to do in the morning.
I am trying to because I'm not home and I went off and left all my prep I had made for this show at home. I don't have it with me. And so I'm trying to find something funny that we can play just to end the whole show on a lighter note because we got real serious.
That's okay. Let me give you I don't got something funny, but I got something interesting. How about that? Will that work?
Okay, because I got something funny. I just found something really funny. If you want.
So I talked about this on my show and I don't have it pulled up, but there's a whole bunch of documents that are about to be released about Seth the Rich. Now, the general, he's a Patriot mythology insurgency, but I've already got this from other sources. But Kash Patel and his team have located several hundred pages of documents related to Seth the Rich in a hidden room at FBI headquarters. Now, there's been a couple of Freedom of Information Act requests on those documents. The FBI said there wasn't any. Well, now they found them in a burn bag in that secret room with all the other burn bags. And Tim Burchett is now saying, it says, wait, the FBI said they didn't investigate this. They said it was a local matter. And they did say that it was a local matter. They didn't investigate it. Tim Burchett has just filed through whatever hearing that he's the head of a subpoena to the FBI to turn over all the Seth Rich records. You know who Seth Rich is? He's the one that was murdered a couple days after the release of the 30,000 emails that were taken from the DNC server in Washington, D.C., who Julian
whistleblower.
Who Julian Assange said he didn't straight up say that Seth Rich was the guy, but he alluded to it. He was a DNC staffer. He was murdered in the street. So there's something to look forward to. That'll be fun when that comes out.
Well, listen, after all hell breaks loose and our president fixes this train wreck and gets our country back on track, it comes a time for healing. And just remember our neighbors. Maybe some of you have them for friends. I try not to. People you work with on the left, they've got handicaps. Remember that.
the educable, the trainable,
there's Nadler,
and the custodial. Obviously, we can only assess the abilities or potential of the mentally retarded on an individual basis. Seemingly random motions and movements are fairly common among the custodial retarded, and they may take many forms. Sometimes there are motions which seem to have no meaning whatever, and may even cause unintentional self-inflicted injuries. The vast majority of the mentally retarded are intelligent enough that they can be taught a great many things. However, there's a wide range of ability even among those considered educable. And their ability to learn obviously varies according to their level of intelligence. Equally important is a stimulating environment. However, we must remember to set realistic standards that are not too high for the individual. Many of the trainable retarded can learn to take certain kinds of household responsibilities, some of which may be more complex than they are usually given credit for. It would be wrong to expect a mentally retarded person to become a master craftsman. The standards are too high. But even in the skilled trades, for example, the mentally retarded can be trained to become valuable assistants. Who are the mentally retarded? They are people. They come in both sexes and in all sizes, shapes, creeds, and colors. Wherever people live, there also live the mentally retarded.
By the way, the soundtrack to that was actually from a real 1950. Remember when we were kids? Of course, this is for our time, but they'd wheel in the projector and you get to watch those little educational films like that. That was the real deal. There really was one that came. That's a real soundtrack. Of course, the photos were added later in the video. I thought that was hilarious. I don't know if you thought it was funny or insulting.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I got one to go with it, and then we'll end the show. Here's one more. This is a sign put out of a Chinese restaurant. It says, "You have this haircut, you no eat here."
That is the international symbol of Karens. That haircut, isn't it?
Yeah, and you gotta read it. You gotta read it in that accent, so it makes sense.
Read
right?
in the accent. All right.
Y'all have a great night, because we have just totally kicked this pig all down the street. I don't know. Anyways, we'll see. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Charlie's got his shows. Check out the Patriot Mike Show page on Facebook, where Charlie posts all of his content, also on his show, Godcast. Yes, you put some other stuff on there too.
Galatians chapter 3 tomorrow,
and then you got your YouTube channel, which is CharLee Do Not Talk, right?
It's Rumble. CharLee. No, it's rumble.com/do not talk. Thank you for the plug. Rumble.com/do not talk. Please click on that QR code with your phone. If you're watching this on your phone, I don't know what to tell you. You can go to nuevalife.com/Charlie Simons, as spelled down below, because my name's Charles Lee, so that's why it's spelled like that. CharLeeSimons. And nuevalife.com/Charlie Simons, as I'm trying to build up my team to actually try and keep up with Mike. And so far, Mike is kicking my tail.
Well, you know, it's not that hard. It's just you got to do it. That's it. That's all you got to do. You got to introduce it to somebody. That's all you got to do. Yeah, it is. It's all right. So
it's for your mind, health, and body, and a naturally derived, American made, and that's very important to me. And it's an American company, been around for about a year now, Nueva Life.
And I personally know the owners. So
you've hung out with them. They bought you some kind of fancy steak dinner, for heaven's sake. Look at you go.
Well, it's more than that. I've known them for years, but that's a whole different story. But anyways, we got to go. Talk to y'all later. We're out of here. See ya.
May God bless you and keep.
Charlie and Mike. Charlie and Mike. this time. Hands on heart, eyes up